Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're here in Ljubljana, Slovenia to give you some information about what you should know before you come to Slovenia for the first time, because this is a really beautiful country and it is worth visiting just for the natural beauty of it, but also because of some of the beautiful cities like here in Ljubljana. And the first thing I gotta tell you is probably you want to know is, where is Slovenia? Well, a lot of people get confused between Slovakia and Slovenia just because of the name. Slovenia is just off to the north and east of Italy. It's underneath Austria, next to Hungary, above Croatia, tucked in right there. They've got a little piece of the Adriatic and Pyrenees, so there is some stuff there, but mostly it's mountainous region when you are here. So I want you to know that, so you know where you are. And the thing is, it's actually a very small country. It'll maybe take you 3 or 4 hours max to drive across the country, or east to west or north to south, and it makes it easy to use a place like Ljubljana as a base to see a lot of the country. And when you come here, you're probably going to wonder, what should we see when we're here? Well, obviously you have Ljubljana, the capital here, and you can probably see the triple bridge down there, castle up on the hill. You can take a funicular up there to see that for some beautiful views and a bit of history of Slovenia. Some beautiful churches here in town, lots of good eating on the pedestrian streets here. So you've got that, because a lot of people just come to see Ljubljana for a weekend and they miss out on a lot more that's there. One thing you can do is you can actually go cave exploring when you're here. We went to some caves about an hour away from Ljubljana. You take a train, about a 15-minute train in the mountain, and then you hike for 1.5 kilometers, about a mile, and you get back on the train, and the stalagmite and stalactites. You see the eyeless salamander that my kids were so excited about. You have that. Now, probably the most famous touristy place that you're going to see in Slovenia is Lake Bled, and you've probably seen it in numerous tourist shows or tourism shows out there. It's the lake with the mountains behind it, and there's the island in the lake with the church on it. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful going there, and you take the boats, they row you out onto the island, you go up the 99 steps there. It's just gorgeous. It's just a really beautiful thing. Or you want to go check out some of the wine regions, you want to go hiking. Yes, hiking's big here in the gorges and stuff like that. There's a ton of nature to do when you are here. Skiing in the winter, hiking in the summer. I mean, we went on a toboggan ride as well. There's all kinds of really cool stuff you can do nature-wise when you're here. And since it's so small, you can do the nature, you can do the culture, you can see the villages, the towns, the cities, all while being based here in Ljubljana. But if you want to have a little more in-depth experience when you're in those little villages, you can also stay there. Because you're looking at accommodation, you know, Slovenia's got plenty of accommodation, hotels, Airbnbs, little bed and breakfasts, alpine resorts when you're here in the winter time. Yes, they have all that there, so you don't have any problems with accommodation here. Also, this country is super safe. Like, when we checked in, they're like, the lady was like, well, I heard this one tourist got her bag stolen. Like, she was worried for this one tour. I'm like, there's like 20 bags stolen a day in, like, you know, a middle-sized French or Italian city or German city. So, you know what? It's okay. I mean, it is a super safe country to go to. Now, of course, do be careful when you're going around. And I would say probably the most dangerous thing that you'll do as a tourist is when you're driving through the mountains, your tummy might have a little issue there. So do have a heads up for that. Now, when you're getting around Slovenia, what's cool is you can take the train or bus in from Italy or Austria. You can take the bus in from Croatia or the train and stuff like that. There's a lot of options getting into the country. When you're going to travel around the country, there are some trains, there's buses go a lot of places. But honestly, this is one of those countries where you can rent a car and really explore all the country on your own, because the roads here, like, double thumbs up, awesome roads and highways you can go on. Even the back roads are pretty good as well. They might get a little like skinny sometimes. You might want to be careful every so often, but in general, super easy to get around the country as well. And when you're getting around, a lot of people ask, well, Mark, if I want to drive on my own, what's the cell service like? What about Wi-Fi and stuff like that? We've had Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere we've gone. I've had cell service, you know, 4G, you know, everywhere I've gone as well. There was a couple times though that it did drop out, but that was like in the mountains, in a valley kind of thing. Otherwise, I mean, we had no problems with that. So our tourists that like to Instagram up beautiful pictures, you're not going to have a problem when you're here. I mean, you will burn through plenty of your data space posting pictures while you're here in Slovenia. And when you are here, you might wonder, it's like, hey, Mark, what money do they use in Slovenia? Well, Slovenia uses the euro, so if you're coming from Italy or Austria, you're totally fine. Credit cards are taken all over the place. I mean, it was no big deal when I asked to use credit cards to pay. I will say it's mostly Visa and MasterCard. American Express only found a few places, so if you're looking for that, so do have a heads up for that one. In terms of the service when you're here, the people in Slovenia are very well educated, so whether it's your server at a restaurant or your attendant at a retail store, they'll know their stuff. And so they'll help you out and they'll give you the background and help you make the right choice and stuff like that. I mean, I know we had lunch the other day, my buddy Jeff, he was ordering fish and the guy's like, you know, you're a bigger guy. The fish is good, but I think for a man like you, you'd probably be more satisfied with the Slovenian steak. And we did have it, and it was amazing. Okay, so that was kind of cool. So you do have good service when you are here. You do tip about 10 to 15% on your bill when you go to a restaurant. So there is that. Also, don't forget to tip your tour guides if you are coming here as well, because there's tons of tours you can do. Now, one thing that a lot of tourists get scared of when they go to another country is the language. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. You are not going to figure out Slovenian. Your years of German or French or Spanish are not going to help you here, okay? Slovenian is its own language, and they do speak Slovenian here. But the thing is most people speak English, probably some German, there's some Italian. We've had no problems coming here and not speaking the local language, so you don't have to worry about that, because they know. We're Slovenia, we're a small country. We don't expect everyone to learn Slovenian in school when they're in the US or they're in Australia, so it's okay. And that's what's really cool, because they understand that and they're very welcoming of the tourists, so that's really kind of a cool thing. But having said that, make sure you know a few words like prosim is please and also you're welcome. Hvala is thank you. Voda is water. So you have some things that you can use. So that does help out. But I mean, honestly, if you try to say something, they'll really appreciate it and they'll switch right to English. So that relieves a lot of stress on a lot of tourists when they know that. And then of course you might want to know what you're going to eat when you come here. Well, you see this river behind me? You have a lot of rivers here. So there's a lot of really good fish you're going to have when you are here. They really do love their vegetables, like a lot of grilled vegetables and stuff like that. There's a lot of also meats, like I talked about, the Slovenian steak and things like that. You're gonna have some really good food here. And Slovenia used to be a part of Yugoslavia, so you'll have Serbian food, you have some Croatian food here, also as part of Austria and Italy and stuff like that. So you have Italian food and Austrian influenced food here. So you're gonna have a wide variety of food when you do come here. So that's what makes it great. I mean, if you're here in Ljubljana on a Friday like I am, right over there, hey, they have their open kitchen where a bunch of different restaurants throw up a tent and they let you try different foods. Well, you got to pay for it, of course, but you get to have different foods when you're there, and you can eat really, really well when you're here. In terms of the drinking, you can drink the water, no problem. The wine here is really good. Okay, the whites and the reds, you'll both be very happy with. They even have their own local beers you can enjoy. I personally like the unfiltered Union beer. That's my favorite. But the thing is, there's tons of craft breweries around as well that you can try. So that's nice. But for me, probably the piece de resistance of the food here in Slovenia are the desserts. They have the layer cake, which has got like nuts and poppy seeds layered up. It's so good. Or the cream cake, which is fantastic. There's some really good breads here. So you'll eat really well when you are here, whatever you do like to have. So this is just a quick little video to give you an idea of some of the things you should know before you come to Slovenia, and you really should come to Slovenia because this place is gorgeous. I'm sure you've seen from all the B-roll I put behind here. Also, if you want to learn more about coming to Slovenia, we have 10 fun culture shocks when you come here, and some other videos on Slovenia on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and we really appreciate your likes, subscriptions. And if you like honest, fun travel videos like this, why don't you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and you're going to get new travel videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Anyway, I want to say thank you for watching, and a special thank you to all of our patrons on Patreon who help make honest travel videos like this possible. We really want to say thank you. And if you want to find out how you can help us keep making honest travel videos like this, go to patreon.com/woltersworld to find out more. Anyway, I'll say bye from here in Slovenia.